Well, Bernie loves to bash the billionaires. So what does he think of his billionaire competition for president? We're talking, of course, Starbucks founder Howard Schultz. Well, apparently not much.
There are a lot of people I know personally who work hard for a living, who make $40,000, $50,000 a year, who know a lot more about politics than, in all due respect, does Mr. Schultz. But because we have a corrupt political system, anybody who is a billionaire, who can throw a lot of TV ads on television, suddenly becomes very, very credible. His deeper theory is, hey, I'm a billionaire, leave me alone, and let me make as much money as I can without paying my fair share of taxes. He's a billionaire, he's thinking of running for president, suddenly he's a very famous guy. That is a problem with our political system.
Ouch. All right, folks. Joining me on this one, my panel, Patrisse Leon-Lucas. She's with the Independent Women's Forum, Civic Forums PAC Chairman Ford O'Connell, and Democratic strategist Kristen Hahn. Patrisse, let me start with you. Golly, I did not see it. I did not think Bernie would come out swinging like that. He's like, my man, he's a nobody outside of $1 billion.
He is taking it personal, honestly. I mean, I think it's ridiculous, but Bernie sees this guy as his foil, and he's always gone after big corporate executives, not surprisingly. But it's so sad that he's going to go after someone who was born to a truck driver and was the first guy to go to college in his entire family. So, you know, when you talk about helping people, you know, earn a good college degree and really earn their dream, Bernie Sanders is swinging pretty hard against, you know, somebody who's just done that.
Yeah, Kristen, I mean, Bernie is sort of a cantankerous kind of guy anyway. But Howard Schultz would seem to be the kind of billionaire that Democrats would appreciate. So what's going on here?
I mean, I totally agree. It doesn't make much sense what Bernie said, except for the only thing that makes sense is that it's something that Bernie would say. I think that there are a lot of Democrats that respect the trajectory that Mr. Schultz has had, and you know, America is the reason why he achieved the American dream. He also should run as a Democrat. The water's warm. He should come in, and the tent's pretty, big enough.
You stole my prediction. I was going to make that prediction at the end of this segment. I think it will be brilliant for him to come in as a Democrat with 18, 25 people running, get the moderate vote, win a few of those states. I think you're spot on. You know, here's the thing, Ford. In the first 24 hours, Bernie raised $6 million. I mean, he ain't doing too bad. He's got 3 houses. He raised $6 million. I think Elizabeth Warren in the first 24 hours raised $300,000. I mean, more power to him, but Bernie ain't exactly broke either.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. This is 3 houses, Bernie Sanders. But Patrisse is absolutely onto something here, and that is to win the Democratic nomination, Bernie Sanders needs a boogeyman other than Donald John Trump. So attacking Howard Schultz is great because Howard Schultz is a billionaire. Billionaires are everything that's wrong with a corrupt system. Remember what he's doing here. It's very simple. He's reminding the green veggie base of the Democratic Party that he's the true socialist, not Warren, not Harris. They are just pretenders trading on his ideas.
So Patrisse, then where do you see this all going? Because it feels like the Democrats who have announced so far are having a tough time distinguishing themselves. And, you know, to be quite frank, although Bernie brought some new ideas to the party a couple of years ago, feels like everyone's adopted them, and I'm not even sure what his unique proposition is anymore.
Well, I mean, I think it's a great distraction for him, right? He doesn't have to deal with all the other contenders, people who have already jumped on his ideas. He can deal with the outside foil, the potential spoiler, and suck some of the energy out of the room there while everybody else is fighting with one another. So, you know, as an independent who leans right, I'm looking forward to the fight because in this battle, we're going to see where some of the weaknesses are in these different candidates.
Kristen, how do you see so far it's shaping up? And I guess the big question mark is whether or not Biden jumps into this race or not. But from what we have so far, the folks who have announced, it feels like the winner is going to be someone who embraces the left, whether they admit it or not. You're going to have an admitted socialist, democratic socialist, or someone who won't admit to it but will still adopt the policies.
Well, I also don't accept the term democratic socialist. It's a socialist, and that's what Bernie Sanders is. I do think a lot of the candidates that have already announced are in the race currently, have tended to adopt farther left policies. But this isn't somebody that those are not views that the majority of the American people share. And I think I've said it on this show before. And that the midterms are any indication, these are people that are in the middle, the center left. These are independent voters, and
guys,
and we can't win.
I can't believe I got to push back on this whole panel. I have to tell you that in a crowded primary, Bernie Sanders is in the top 3. He's dangerous because he has a loyal following, a strong online presence, and as you just noted, Charles, he can raise money like a holy roller on Sunday morning. So let me tell you, in a crowded primary, that loyal following and that strong online presence, as President Trump showed, is very, very valuable, and he's someone that I would have in the top 3 right now for the nomination.
Well, I think he's probably, the highest polling right now if he did a poll of all the Democrats. But can any of them, Kristen, beat President Trump right now? Any of the declared candidates in your mind, could they beat President Trump?
I think they could. I think that somebody like Kamala Harris, I think if Beto gets in, I think that Beto has a really good shot at winning the nomination and beating President Trump. It has to be somebody, though, that can come back to the center to win the general election. But, we'll see. I think Howard Schultz, it'd be a little more difficult, and he could definitely be a spoiler if he maintains his position as an independent.
Yeah.
Charles, I'll just say you can't count out Biden at this point. I mean, I think he's actually number 1. And you know what? Kamala Harris may seem like a done deal, but I think she has her weaknesses. I was unimpressed by her performance during the town hall. I think there are things that she's said and done in the past are going to come back to bite her.
But Biden is definitely the strongest at this point. I would agree with that.
There's absolutely no doubt. But if he sits back and chills out and waits too long, it starts to look like maybe the Hillary Clinton coronation redux. All right, folks. Great stuff. Really appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Charles.